Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Tamiya Indianapolis 1700 build. And in the last video I said I'd be doing a bit of painting of the intermediate blue on all the top of the superstructure pieces. Anyway, that went really well. Let's go back now and we'll have a look at the painting of that, and then we'll come back and have a look at what I'm going to do here. Okay, back shortly. Okay, so while all that's drying, I thought, well, there's not much else left I can do other than put these two float planes together. So we've got two little float planes on here, and they come with the pontoons that attach underneath them, and also the support that holds one of them on the catapult, which I've got here that's still primed up. I haven't painted yet, but that'll be the catapult that one of them goes on. The other aircraft will sit somewhere on the deck outside the hangar entry. So there's also a few different colors too. So the intermediate blue is the color of the top of the aircraft, while the bottom is a white insignia. There's also decals for the aircraft, and there's also the cockpit cover they've got listed there as painting that silver or metal, which we can do that too. But for the moment, I think it's just a matter of putting this together, priming it, and then the rest I will just hand paint. I mean, it's that small, it should be fine to hand paint and do it that way. Okay, so let me get started on this. Okay, so I've got all the pieces I need, except propellers. Sorry. And I had a look through, and there's no propellers. Definitely no propellers. Even in the final image of the aircraft on here, there's no propellers. Strange. Surely they had propellers. Let me have a look at the picture on the box. I might be able to see the aircraft. And I don't know if you can make that out, but there's the aircraft there, and it has propellers. So, okay. My only option is I may possibly have some spare propellers from previous kits. We can't have aircraft without propellers, so anyway. Okay, so we'll get back into this now, and glue all these little pieces on. In here, there were two of the float things spare. I don't know why they had two extra, and there was also one more of the bracket that goes under the plane that sits on the launcher. That's fine on one of the aircraft like that, but there we go. Only one plane will go on the catapult, so the other one's going to sit on the deck. I don't think that would be attached. I think that's part of the catapult that runs along and flings them off the end. So I've left one as spare. We'll see. I'll put that aside in my little, with my spare turret. If we need it later, we'll need it. I'm going to go now and see if I can find some propellers for these little fellas. We'll be back shortly. Okay, so I found some propellers off an old, not old, but actually the Scharnhorst 1700 scale that I built earlier. It had photo etch parts for the plane, so they had some propellers in there. So I put them on. You can see. Yeah. So they're on and look a lot better. Because planes don't fly well without props. And I'm going to go and take these and give them a quick undercoat. And then for the rest of them, I think I'll probably hand paint the colour. We'll see. I might do the top of it in the grey. And then hand paint the bottom of it. But we'll see. Okay, back shortly. Hello and welcome back. And sort of changed my mind about painting those two aircraft. I'm going to do them later with all the anti-aircraft guns that I've done. So instead, I thought, well, it's time to tape up this because the clear coat I did was dry. So I've taped up all the way around the hull here so that now both the waterline and the now painted side of the ship, the hull, which is colour was that steel blue, is protected, masked. Now I'm going to go across the top here and do intermediate blue for all the deck. Now I won't have to do anything from here up because there's going to be superstructure on top of here and wood deck all the way. So from where the base of the hangar bay is, where the aircraft will be, from here down, tops of here, all across the deck here, and into the end here, where I'm pointing and you can't see, sorry, into here. So that's all going to be painted the blue. And on the end here, definitely inside where those guns placements will be there, that'll be blue. And where the chain and intermediate blue under the chain there, I'm not sure. I will go check some reference images, but I'm thinking that might be more of a grey, being where the anchors go. We'll see. Now, having said for not spraying where the wood deck is, I actually will be spraying, or won't I? Hang on, I've got to get this right. Yeah, because there's lots of bits and pieces sticking up through the floor here, but they're going to be grey, so there's no point, there's no need. But just inside these two little spots here, they'll be painted, most likely on there as well. And yeah, and then when that coat is dry, it's going to be a big job of taping it all up so that I can go over everything that's left with the grey, because the grey is not only all the sides of the superstructure, and including the side of the ship here, because that part there is superstructure here, so the side of that will be grey, and this side of the hull where I've masked off this top bit will be grey as well. Okay, so yeah, so I need to paint that, the intermediate blue first. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Okay, once again, back shortly. Okay, welcome back. So as you saw, the paint went nicely on the ship. I would have shown you me spraying all these pieces here as well. Unfortunately, I must have bumped the camera and I was filming the floor, so that didn't work. But I did get the filming of this, so as you can see, that's come up really nice. I finished this a while ago. It's still got to dry, so I won't be taping it up. But these pieces I did first thing this morning, so these will be fine. So I'm going to slowly start masking up all the blue areas so that we can get the grey sprayed. While I'm at it, I might also do all the guns, which are all here, at least get an undercoat primer on them. And the two planes are in there as well. Okay, we'll be back shortly. Hello and welcome back. So I thought I'd show you a bit of the masking job I have. I've got some bits done. I'm probably about, oh no, not even halfway really. so I've got the deck there all masked up. So it's ready to paint. I've got a couple more pieces here like this one. As you can see, very tiny bits to get in there. There's another one there. But basically, I'm masking that intermediate blue so that so that it won't get any of the grey on it that I'm about to do. I've done the tops of these turrets as well, so they have a stripe of the blue on it as well. And here's the next piece down here I'm doing. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but to give you some idea, I'm using my tweezers and a toothpick. And what I'm doing is I'm just slicing tiny slithers off, like this. And then positioning over the areas that I'm trying to cover. In this case, it's just there. And I have noticed that the Tamiya tape does stick just a little bit better than my other tape. So that's how that one's going at the moment. Still got a bit more to do. Yeah, so I have this one here, which is frog tape I buy at the hardware store, which is fine for doing large areas, but when you come down to cutting small slithers of this off, yeah, it doesn't stick down. It particularly doesn't hold if you're putting it over itself. There's just nothing there. But the Tamiya tape, not a problem at all. Doesn't matter how thin I cut a piece, whether it's a millimeter wide, it will stick down. So I'm doing larger areas, not that there are many, with this tape just to cover the space, because this is only 5mm wide Tamiya tape, 5 or 6mm, 6mm. I still have this whole deck on here yet to go. Having said that, from there up is going to be wood deck, so there's nothing to mask there. Just a little bit inside those two turrets, two little areas where the guns will be, to keep them blue. But inside there won't need to be done. Maybe half of it, because you'll be able to just see in there a little bit through that hangar door. So I'll just tape that so it stays blue, and then all the floor area up here will be blue, all this area all through here will be blue. Yeah, so every little piece, all the little boxes and stuff sticking up, will all be grey once they get the covering on them. Just notice a bit of sticking out there. Okay, alright, I'll keep going with this. This will take most of the day, and when we come back, hopefully it'll all be taped up and we'll have a good look at what it looks like. Okay, back soon. Hello and welcome back. So as you can see, I've done all the masking. It took me with the hour yesterday and about two hours, about three hours. So yeah, it's all ready to paint, and everything will be painted the XF75 grey. Yeah, so I'm going to go and do that right now and give that a chance to dry, and we'll see how that looks when it's done. While that's drying, I might make a start on the guns, which I painted earlier this morning. So they've all been done. So what I mean by making a start is do the barrels, do a little bit of weathering, put a bit of silver in there, and just touch them up a little bit. Okay, we'll be back in a second. Okay, so while those parts are painted and not painted, I've done that. While they're drying, I'm going to start doing a bit of work on these guns. Now, these ones here, see if you can have a look at those, how small they are. Detail. You can see that they've got like little ammunition boxes on the side and little canisters and so forth there, and the round up in the top. So what I'm going to do is I've got some gunmetal. I'm going to use that to do the barrel on the guns, and that'll be on all of them, including these smaller ones here and these ones are really, really tiny. So I guess those would be more for keeping pirates away rather than anti-aircraft. So I'm going to paint all the little barrels on those with the gunmetal, and then I'm going to use a bit of flat aluminium just to touch up on some of the boxes. So just to add a little bit of colour there, I'll touch up some of the boxes on the side there with that aluminium. And I've also got some brown as well, red brown, which I might just to show like not rust, but just little bits of worn areas around them. But a lot of that will be done with the wash later. I do the weathering of it. We'll see how we go. So all right, I'll come back. I'll make a start on these, and then we'll come back and have a good look, and whether you'll be able to see them or not, or I'll put some photos up. It'll depend on how well my camera works, but probably best thing would be to maybe take a couple of photos and put them on. Anyway, I'll get to work on these now. Be back shortly. And I might just also say that, you know, some people might think, you know, 1/700 scale, you know, it's so small, why would you go to the hassle of doing such tiny little bits of detail? Well, because I think it looks good. You know, the whole, to be honest, the whole process of building these models is the process of building them. All the work involved going into them, because to be honest, when it's sitting on the shelf, I hardly look at them. I hardly look at them. But I know what I've done to them. So I can just glance at my model on there, and I know the detail work I did on that, and it's really satisfying to know that. Someone else was to come along and look at that, I'm sure they see detail, but they certainly would not know the time that I put into building it. So, I mean, you could just throw these straight on the model and throw it all together and throw your paint on and put it on the shelf and it's done. And that's fine. Each to their own. That's okay. But I'm doing this more for just the time, learning, preferably showing others what can be done, showing that you don't need a lot of experience and years of model making to do this. You can do this just by watching other people's YouTube videos and experimenting yourself when you're doing it on your own, doing it yourself. I don't care what other people. Well, I do care what other people think of my models when I show them on YouTube and Facebook and other social media. But it's for my own satisfaction that I'm doing these. So, having said that, I'm going to go and touch up these little fellas. Back shortly. Okay, welcome back. So I'll throw a few pictures up, make it a bit easier to see these, but might get some view here. Now, I didn't do the barrels and the gunmetal, but I did do the tips of them because I figured they're going to be grey, so it wouldn't look right. So they come up all right. And then there's The twin guns there. Of course, they still got to be, you know, weathered and everything, so that'll be the later process. See these little ones here. Very, very tiny. You'll see in the pictures. So I've also started on the aircraft. So I've done a blue coat. See that? Gonna focus for us. Come on. As I wanted. Yeah. Don't know why it won't focus on there. Anyway, I've done the blue, I've done the white underneath. I've got to do another coat of white underneath. Just to get it right. That's better. There we go. I know it looks rough. It's only one coat. I'll do another coat. Top coat was one coat of blue, and I'm going to leave it like that because I want it to look a little bit dirty like it is. And of course, a little bit of silver for the canopy. And of course, and these have decals as well for later on. All right, so I'll go and check on the drying of our ship and all the superstructure and parts, and we'll bring that out and have a closer look and see how that's turned out. Okay, back shortly. Okay, welcome back. So, exciting time. The masking is ready to come off everything I painted. So I've got everything just a little bit off camera here. And turrets that was, and I've got all the superstructure pieces. And of course the ship itself. And all ready to get all that masking off. Now, I will mention in advance that I don't know how, but I forgot to mask up inside here. It's supposed to be the intermediate blue in there. And while I was spraying, I thought, oh, I'm supposed to have masking in that. And I already painted the grey, so we'll see how it looks. Otherwise, I can hand paint that if I have to. Not a problem. Alright, so I'm going to be doing this a little bit slowly and carefully. So we'll speed this up a bit and we'll watch this, and fingers crossed everything comes off nicely and it looks good. Alright, let's go. Okay, so very, very happy with this. This has come up really nice. Even the sides come up good. I do notice a bit of a residue that seems to be left, maybe, or whether that's some of the clear coat. I think that's just the clear coat that may have lifted with the tape, so that'll be fine. It's going to all get clear coated again. But the blues come up really nice. Some spots you might find a few gaps and things, but that's only because there's going to be pieces put on top of that. They're all going to be out of view. So yeah, so that looks great. And now, as for the superstructure parts, look at those. So neat, clean. Railings are going to look really nice on that. Really good. That one as well. Really clean. It's going to look good. Another one there. Definitely worth getting all the, even the little holes in there all done nice. Not nice. Another larger piece there. The colour's really nice too. I like the blue. Yeah, definitely. Okay, there's a few more pieces here and here, and also good. Now, of course, I've taken that tape off with that grey coat's only been on there for a couple of hours, so definitely not going to do anything for the rest of the day until I know that's dry, and then start putting some pieces on top of the ship here and start building it up. But that will be for the next video, so you'll have to wait for that. So that'll be in part 4. Part 4 we'll build up the superstructure on here, get them all in place, and yeah, pretty much go from there. Alright, so hey, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Please give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Comment below if you got any comments. Any thoughts on how I went about doing all that and getting all that come up nice like that? There's hardly anything needs touching up at all. Maybe this, I'm not sure. Might do that blue, might do that grey. There's a couple of guns have got to sit in there. We'll see. So yeah, great. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notifications bell so you get notified of my videos as I release and upload them, which is, you know, a couple of weeks at least. And we'll continue with this in the next video. So thanks a lot, guys. See you next time. Bye for now.